welcome back. So I wanted to film this video for you guys today because I have been feeling like caca today, and I know that sometimes you just have to drag yourself out of bed and you have to do your makeup and you have to pretend for the world like everything is awesome. Oh, even when you're really sick and you just feel like ugh. So I just wanted to do kind of like a really laid back talk through, kind of like almost get ready with me, sick face situation type of video. So let's just get started. I wanted to keep the eye look really simple, so I'm going to try to get away with using 2 eyeshadows. We'll see how it works out. So in my opinion, when you are sick and feeling really icky, there are 2 things that I think help to really wake up your face and make you kind of able to fake it a lot easier, and those are your complexion. So if your complexion looks really smooth and glowy and just perfect and awesome like it would any other day, I feel like that's a really good kind of mask to put on, and it even makes you feel better because you look in the mirror and you're like, I actually don't look as awful, so maybe I can just like pick myself up and smile. And the other thing is your eyes, and specifically your lashes, and just kind of the ability to keep them open and make them look more awake. So I will show you how I go about achieving that, and I'm going to start with the complexion. So I'm going to spray my Fix Plus concoction all over my face, and this can be used at any stage throughout your makeup, before, after, in between your foundation and your powder and whatever. You can do it at any time. It can give you kind of a little bit more glowiness to your skin, especially if you have dry skin. It's a really nice thing to do. So I will go ahead and spray that all over my face. And then next, since you do want your complexion to stay in place all day long and kind of just look really healthy and awesome, I always prime my face. So this is going to be the Mirabella Prime that we got in our BoxyCharm. I think it was January, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to put that all over my face, kind of in like the F zone area, which is what I call it. So that is basically just your T-zone, and then also right here. So it's like an F, you know what I'm saying? Generally, I like this primer. It stinks really bad, but that's the only thing. It just smells really chemically, but it works pretty well actually. Next, I'm just going to go in with my foundation. This is NARS Sheer Glow in the shade Mont Blanc because I am pasty. And I'm going to use that with my Real Techniques sponge. Now, I've been using this sponge for like probably a couple years, and I don't know. I can't talk while I'm doing my mouth. I don't know, at first I really loved the way that it worked, and even up until like pretty recently I had been loving the way that this worked, and I was like, there's no reason to go back to using the Beauty Blender because I used to buy those all the time, and they're so much more expensive. But for some reason I got this new one of these because my dog ate my last one. Yeah, she ate that along with a grow lizard thing that Levi had, where you're supposed to like put it in water and it grows 600 times its size. It started out this big, so it was gonna grow 600%, is what I meant. And hey, there's her right now, speak of the devil. And yeah, she ate that because she is that dumb. But anyway, she also ate my Real Techniques sponge, so I needed to buy a new one, and I went to get this one, and I've been using it for a few weeks now because I figured, you know, it needs some breaking in time, but it's not the same, you guys. I don't know why, it just seems to be made differently. Like, it used to be equally as squishy as the Beauty Blender, and it's just not quite the same. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I mean, I have it, so I'm just gonna keep using it. But if it doesn't like go back to the texture that I'm used to, I'm gonna have to start buying Beauty Blenders again, which would be a bummer. So the Sheer Glow can actually kind of, it's not really glowy, which I know Wayne Goss talked about this recently in one of his videos, that it's not really meant to be glowy necessarily, but it's like almost matte sometimes. So I'm gonna spray with this again, just because I feel like if I'm a little bit more dewy, I'll look a little bit more alive than I feel. I'm just gonna use my Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Concealer and conceal any of my little friends that I have on my face. So So one area that I definitely do not skimp when it comes to makeup, especially trying to make myself look more awake and alive, is my under eye circles. And I know it's hard to tell. I've gotten a lot of comments saying you don't have under eye circles, but it's hard to tell on camera because I have all this light, this bright light flashing at me. I do, trust me. So this is the Laura Mercier, they call this Secret Concealer, and this is shade 1. So it's kind of like a little bit salmony, but still pasty enough that it works for me. So I just warm this up on my fingers really well because this product it just sinks into your skin a lot better if you do that. And then I'm just going to apply this. I tried to do the majority of the blending of this concealer with my fingers, and then I will do like the edges with my sponge. Other eye, I think it's like a requirement to make a really ridiculous face when you're doing this, and my right finger is like a lot faster at tapping than this finger is. Yeah. Okay, and then right after that I'm gonna go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is in the shade NW20. And I'm just going to apply that under my eyes, bring it down just a little bit, and blend that in. And I have to set my under eye concealer super fast, otherwise it will crease. So I'm going to use my Anastasia contour kit and the banana shade, which is the middle top there. And I use the Sigma, what is it? Tapered Kabuki F86, and that is what I set my under eye with. And I just kind of pat it. I do not drag it or blend it or dust it. I just pat so that it just sets everything into place really well. Now after my under eye is set, I usually do the rest of my complexion after my eyes when I'm doing my makeup at home, at least. I can't remember what I do for videos usually, but if I'm just doing my makeup for the day, this is what I do. So I'm going to do my eyes first, and I'm just going to prime with my Lay and Low Paint Pot by MAC. And I'm just going to pat this in all the way from my lash line to my brow bone. And blend the corners in. And the edges. So it helps to mask the veins. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I've got really prominent veins on my eyelids just because, again, my skin is so transparent. It's quite annoying actually, but this helps to block that out a little bit and just give me a nice fresh start for my eyeshadow. Okay, so for my crease slash transition situation, I'm going to use Texture by MAC, and I'm going to use my Morphe MB23, and I'm going to just sweep that along. I like the shade because it is warm enough that it's going to make you look more awake. If you try to use cool colors, they're hard to work with to begin with, but especially on a day when you're like not feeling so great, it's definitely not going to be easy to pull off. So I suggest sticking with warm colors as much as you can. Okay, and for the lid color, and I'm hoping the last color, if we can pull this off, I'm going to use Sable, also by MAC. This one is just shimmery enough without being too over the top, but it still makes you just look a little bit more awake. And on the other side. Then I'm going to go back to Texture and just take it on a fluffy brush like this and just dust it on my lower lash line. I find that that helps to kind of wake your eyes up a little bit. I almost always put shadow on my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm going to use my Bare Minerals Lash Domination Mascara. I'm not the biggest fan of this mascara. It's fine, but I usually use it for underneath like false lashes, so it really doesn't matter if it's amazing or not, but it works fine. I just find that it transfers a little bit, so that's my only issue. So I'm not going to do false lashes for this because this is meant to be more like of an everyday kind of situation, but you can see how doing top and bottom mascara makes your eyes look more open and awake, and also bringing that eyeshadow all the way around, basically top and bottom, also helps to kind of open everything up. That is it for my eyes. This is something that I could just wear and just feel comfortable, like I have makeup on, but at the same time I'm not like overdone and I don't feel uncomfortable with so much makeup on. So I'm gonna finish my complexion now. I already did foundation and everything obviously, but I'm just gonna go in with my Galactic bronzer. It's really dirty. This is in the shade Cabo and it looks like this. It looks pretty light, but it's perfect for my complexion because I'm not super dark to begin with. So, and I'm just going to, I mean, this is a joke of a contour, but I'm just kind of, whoops, I'm just kind of going around the perimeter of my face. More than contouring, I really just want to bring a little bit of life to my face where it may not be on days that, you know, you're not feeling great. I'm not even going to do blush. I'm just going to kind of bring this onto my cheeks a little bit and just give my face some dimension, give it some life, but not go too crazy. So if you know me, I generally like a low maintenance lip no matter what's going on, unless it's a video or an Instagram shot, but especially when I'm not feeling well, I will definitely, if I do a lip color at all, which I usually don't, but if I do, I'm just gonna do something like this, like a jumbo crayon. This one is by Jing Ai and we actually got it in our BoxyCharm, but this is super easy just because you can throw it in your purse and you can touch up if you want to or whatever throughout the day if you need to. I actually find that I don't really need to touch up with this, which is even more awesome. So that is it. That is the finished look. Super, super simple. If you have, you know, not a lot of time in the morning or you just feel like, then I would go with something like this just because it looks nice. It looks like you're awake and alive when you may not actually feel that way on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!